Narcissistic parent doesn't parent. Such a bugbear. Actually, it's a big fucking pain in the fucking ass, to be honest. So, narcissist, if we've got a narcissistic parent, they didn't parent us. They didn't nurture us. They didn't love us. They conditioned us to serve their needs. Our narcissistic co-parent does the same thing, and oh my gosh, does it absolutely rile you up without using a montage of swear words when they come back to you, because there's no routine. They're totally dysregulated. They're totally out of routine. They probably haven't slept all week because there's no routine, no rules, no anything. The co-parent just lets them do whatever they want. They're the fun parent, remember? The kids can just literally run wild. And this is why you get your nervous system goes into overdrive in that access time of the kids handing over to the other parent and coming back, because you don't know what the fuck you're going to get back. But going over there because you know how much work you've put in with your beautiful, healthy boundaries, your beautiful, healthy routine, your beautiful, healthy morals, your beautiful, healthy standards, and all of the things that you were raised with in your healthy environment, the healthy people that you had around you, in your grandparents and things like that. The co-parent just shits all over it. Might as well just throw it out the fucking window. It doesn't matter what you try and instill or what you try and implement, they will ensure that they use that against you. It becomes their arsenal. You become the person at the shooting range that they just fire down, and there's all of these excuses or reasons as to why that won't work, why that's a load of crap, why we're not going to listen to mummy because she doesn't know what she's talking about. This is what we're going to do instead. And oh my God, that used to absolutely drive me fucking insane. It was a lose-lose battle. It was, and what did I call it in my reel today? It's a massacre of your beliefs, your morals, your standards, your routines, everything that you stand for as a human being that you desire your children to be. It's an instant massacre of all of those things, and they don't care. They don't care. Whatever you try and install or implement, the kids will go, oh, well, mummy does it this way. Well, mummy doesn't know what the fuck she's talking about. Or mummy's shit at that. Or mummy's no good at that anyway. You know, oh, mummy thinks that she's so fucking good. Like, these are the things that then get said to the kids. You know, when we're getting our kids back, putting them back into that routine, set and order space of a nurtured, safe space takes a few days. And when you're getting them on the back end of the holidays where they have to go to school literally within a day, that first week of back to school can be utter chaos, an utter trigger zone. That was a good segue back into trigger zone, wasn't it? And what I mean by trigger zone is you are triggered by everything that your kids do. And I popped a post in here too before about that actually, and I didn't even think about it, but everything that I'm doing this today is just all coming into this exact topic. How funny. So, you know, then you're triggered by your kids, right? By their behaviors, by what they're saying, because they're mimicking and they don't mean to. It's not your kid's fault. This is not a blame game. Don't get me wrong. They're just parroting the parent. They're just parenting the co-parent of what they've been taught, what they've been brainwashed in that moment. That's it, plain and simple. And what does that do for you? Triggers the crap out of you. Then you go into meltdown, you dysregulate, you blow off steam, you explode if you don't have the tools and resources in place for yourself to be able to regulate. Keep your nervous system calm. Not react, but respond to them. Because what we forget a lot, and this is a conversation that I have with a lot of my mums and a lot of my clients that are going through this, that are, just spat on the screen, sorry, so passionate about this subject, that happens in this space is that we get so riled up and so frustrated and irritated Why can't they just be nice? Why do they have to be like this? And all of those questions are why do they? Why can't they? Why are they? They. They don't give a shit. As long as it's the opposite of what you're doing, that's all that matters, because they can't have those children not doing what they need. They need those children to come across to the other side because they're the fun parent. They need those children to, this is the narcissist. They need the kids to pump up their ego to keep whatever story they're telling alive. So they're going to do whatever it takes to make sure that those kids want to go over there regardless, even with the gaslighting and manipulation. I can give you an example, a personal experience example. Kids getting brainwashed to go live with the other parent because they're fun, because they get given everything that they want. Because as a single mum, juggling jobs, can't get sick leave, can't get sick pay, or maybe you have your own business and that's the same thing, have to have time off to look after sick kids, don't get paid, this and this. You can't afford to buy your kid every single thing. You can't afford to buy them the latest Xbox or a new motorbike or the latest Jordan Nike Air basketball boots, whatever that looks like. But the fun parent can, can't they? Because they don't have to worry about school fees, school uniforms, food, lunches, dentist appointments, after school extracurricular activities, membership fees, let alone rent, living expenses, XYZ. That always all falls on the main parent, generally mum, solo mum. And we will do everything that we can to provide for our children because that's what we do. And that's a whole other subject in itself of how we get so frustrated that they don't have that responsibility to be the parent, to do the co-parenting effectively and efficiently in a healthy manner. That's a good role model for the children, even if you have split up. There are a host of families out there that have amicably split, and they can communicate between themselves, have then got their own extended blended families, and all the families can actually get along because they communicate. Because at the end of the day, it's not about the individual, it's about the children. But for a narcissist, it ain't about the children. It's about fucking you over as much as they can because you're no longer there to pump up their ego, to make them feel good about themselves, to suck out all of the goodness in you for them because they don't have those qualities. They were never taught those qualities. They don't know how to even bring about those qualities because they were never taught them or learnt them as a child themselves. They were taught to be how they are. So that's their learnt behaviour. And they don't have the capacity to even think about how to unlearn that behaviour because they're not wired like that. Their neuro pathways, their filing cabinets, their narratives, their beliefs don't even enter in that they're doing anything wrong, that they need to change, that there needs to be work done on themselves. Nothing comes into that play. And the only time that they may enter and say something like that is if they need to level up to get you back. Only time ever. So, what do we do when the kids come back from the co-parents totally dysregulated and you're triggered like fuck? It's about taking a deep breath. It's about going back to day one and doing the breathing techniques. It's about doing the grounding spaces, the making sure that whilst they've been away at the other parent, that you've done you, that you've filled your cup, that you've recharged how you need to. And if that's sleeping all week, that's sleeping all week. If that's going to work and going home and sleeping, because hey, I used to do that too, that's what it is. Because we repair on the inside when we're doing that too, rebuilding ourselves. Because we were exhausted, we've got to build up our energy levels, our hormonal levels, all of the things. So that's why it's so important on the weeks that we don't have our children, on the weekends where we don't have our children, that we are doing things that fill our cup, that light us up, that put us back into our own routine or keep us prepared and organised and go and have fun and live our life as an adult healthily, in a healthy manner. That's why it's so important that when you don't have the kids that you go and do those things. And I move through that with a lot of my clients as well because we don't know how to be that. Like I mentioned in another live, I think I laid on the couch, curled up in a ball because I didn't know what the hell to do with myself. because we're not used to making those choices. So when the kids come back from being at the co-parents and coming back over and you're getting triggered, it's about going into that space with eyes wide open. It's about coming back in. And if they are having a little mini meltdown because it's hard, they've gone from this free flow of they can do whatever they want. It's like being in a candy shop and they can eat as much candy as they want. They come home to you with the biggest bellyache of their lives and all they want to do is throw up and be sick. When you think about it like that your child's coming back to you in that state, you will come from that angle of parenting and the transition back into your space with a truckload more compassion, because you know how that bellyache feels. You know how that nauseous feeling feels. You know how it feels that you just want to vomit everywhere. That's how the kids feel. And the smaller the child, they can't articulate that. They just do the, I've got a sore belly, or they just cry, or they just want you, because they're so dysregulated that they don't know whether they're Arthur or Martha. They don't know what they want. They don't know how to be. They've been that confused and dysregulated from that time. And that triggers our heart because we just want to love on them. Look at that. My daughter's just messaged me. Hey, Mum, I forgot what jobs I had to do. I gave her a list of jobs this morning while she was still half asleep. They come back that dysregulated that they're looking to you for guidance, and all they actually really need is a bit of extra nurturing and love and lots of hugs. Good food, healthy food, and that's it. They just want to come home to their home beacon and just feel safe and wrapped in love and warmth. So for the first couple of days of when they're coming back into your space, if you've gotten them back during school holidays, well, hell yes. You don't have to worry about school on top of that, let me tell you. But if you've got them on the back end and they're going to school, just be a little bit more organised. Come with it from a little bit more love from your side, going, God, if that was me going back and that's how I'm feeling, of course everything's not going to go smooth sailing like it did before school holidays. Everything takes a bit of time. And this is the same when we've got the if you're a week on, week off parent, or if you're an every second weekend parent, like access space, same thing. It takes those couple of days. And now that my kids are a lot older, you know, I can see when they're dysregulated. I can see when they're not coping. I can see their behavior changes and I know something's gone down. And generally, more often than not, once my kids could vocalize things, as soon as they hopped in the car at pickup, because we do pickups at police stations for, it's just the way it's ordered, for safety measures, the kids straight in the car. Mum, blah, 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 blah. They can't wait to tell you all of the shit things. Oh, Dad did this and Dad did that. And oh my God, Dad had 2 boxes of beer and oh, Dad did blah, 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 blah. Whatever it is, you know? And they feel pressured on the other side. Like, I haven't even said a word. I'm like, hey guys, how you going? I don't even ask them about their time because I don't want to put pressure on the time that they need to tell me everything. When they go to the other side, as soon as they hop in that car, where's your mum going? What's she doing this weekend? What's happening? Oh, is she working? What's she working? How many clients does she get? How much money does she make? What does she charge? They get pressured for the questions. They don't freely give them. They feel like they have to answer all of the questions. Otherwise, the questions go around and around and around and around. And I know this for a fact because my kids have told me. You know, so I don't ask or put any pressure on when they come over to my side. It's like, hey guys, how you going? What do you feel like going and doing? We're going home and I've got cookies baked or whatever. You know? Safe, nurturing space. Coming home to mum. Mum is nice, warm and cuddly. And that's all they want. They just want safety. They want their nervous system to feel safe. Their subconscious is craving it because it's just been so out of control. That's why school holidays at Christmas, summer in the US, that 6 weeks, that 3 months, if they're going to the other side for those weeks at a time, that's why they break down when they come home, because their nervous system doesn't know how to control, doesn't know how to calm. They're in constant survival mode because everything is out of control. And then that's a whole other conversation when you get the text messages going. You always send me a kid that's crying. You always send me a kid who can't cope. You always send me a kid that cries all the time. What are you raising over there? You can't parent for shit. You need to take the kids to the doctor. You need to change schools. What school are you picking? You're a shit mum. You're a shit this. You're a shit everything fucking else. And they're messages that we don't respond to, by the way. But these, it doesn't matter what you do or don't do, it will be used as arsenal some way. And the kids are the bullets. So it's about, okay, how do we deactivate and de-arm the bullets? How do we create safety around that without losing our own shit? And that's why it's so important that we prioritize ourselves first, that we take that bit of extra time in the morning to be organized so that we can be there for them in these moments. And that's why it's also so important that we do find the things that we like, be it that we go to a sound healing, be it that we bring up a meditation on our phone if we don't want to spend money, be it that we lie in bed and have extra hours sleep, be it that we go for walks or we go do something that we've always wanted to do without them, without having these little beings in tow, or, you know, hurry up, or they're running up ahead, whatever it looks like. That's why it's so important that when we don't have them, that we recharge ourselves so that we're ready for when they come back to help regulate and don't trigger ourselves. Because then when we trigger, they trigger more. We trigger more. It's like fireworks, literally. And it just keeps going. It's like the fireworks that have the little sparklers at the end. So it just keeps going and going and going and going. So there's some tips and strategies on when they're coming back, when the access is coming over, when the co-parent isn't parenting, which they're not going to. It's something that is, look, they just don't have the capacity. Now you understand a little bit more from this conversation, why, how, and it's you moving through that now. It's you moving through and calming your own nervous system because you're projecting onto them. Why can't you just do this? They just don't. They never did when you were together. They're not going to. They don't have the capacity. And the more that you seek externally like that to go, why, they, you're giving them your power. Exactly that, how you're in that moment is what they want. You're an adult version of the children. Unregulated, dysregulated, triggered, feeling unsafe and out of control. And our nervous system just goes, shh, when did we feel like that last? Oh, yep, that's what we did. And we then go and behave that way. So until we then redub those little filing cabinets, those little stories with all of the attachments to them, we'll continue to trigger. Our kids will continue to trigger. And it's remembering what sort of role model you want them to be. And you do want the best things for your children, and you are the best role model for them. It's remembering that in those moments. Thanks for joining me today.